Flight boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of Military Smooth. I'm the Archangel Uriel. And I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And we're going to talk about the rape energy. Now, this is a very, very sensitive topic. So I need y'all to walk with me. I don't need the offensive energy being thrown in there. Because, see, it takes two for this. And y'all know me. I'm not placing more blame on either party. But whatever party is utilizing certain energy signatures, we know certain energy signatures is more powerful than other ones when we talk about this third dimensional realm. So what do I mean by that? It takes two, right? So it takes a woman and it takes a male. But here's the thing, right? The male plays out as the aggressor and the female plays out as the receiver. So even though I'm not placing no blame, you should be spiritually inclined enough to sit back and be like, okay, but I can see who have more access to something. AKA, the aggressor is more powerful than the receiver. Because a person who's receiving, whether male or female, can lead them into scenarios where they manifest situations in their lives where they may be passive, naive, gullible. You see what I'm saying? But then on the flip side, when you got a person who's the aggressor, whether male or female, that is backed and supported by a person who's overwhelming, overbearing, don't have patience, like to take rather than wait. So for the most part, when you say take, that doesn't necessarily have to go into the situation that we're getting ready to go into as far as physically, but just a person who is aggressive mentally. These are the people that might try to take your thoughts away from you in order for you to follow them in some type of way. See what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. So now that we got that clear and spiritually out the way, let's fully dive into this motherfucking rape energy now. Now, here's the thing, right? Here's where the rape energy come from and why it takes two. Let's start with the men. As far as the men, it comes from an area of their life that they have got comfortable with being spoiled in some way, shape, or form. They have been in a routine or a pattern where they have been getting what they want more percentage of the time than not getting what they want. And that could be anything based upon their upbringing, their family, their circumstances, you know what I'm saying, their siblings and the friends that they are around. Based upon their own energy, and if they had more experiences of receiving what they wanted more than not getting what they wanted, then it start to create certain brain waves, certain gamma waves, certain alpha waves, and their actions is predicated on those frequency vibrations. And you will be able to see these things based upon this person's character. Now, let's get to the female. Now, as far as the female, this energy is derived from a woman who haven't learned how to sufficiently use her sexual energy. Remind you, all females by default have this attraction, moon, receiving, manifesting energy. So if a woman do not learn, let's say a little girl, if a little girl do not learn how to become a female, then a woman in a sufficient way based upon her upbringing, then she's going to be utilizing her sexual energy in a very chaotic way. And she's going to be manifesting a bunch of chaos in her life. And since women can handle the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional realm, the vibrational realm a lot better than men, a woman can actually psych herself up to actually enjoy these experiences. So once you get a woman who start to enjoy and like these experiences, goddammit, you living in a fucked up world if you are a male or a woman around this woman, because she got all the power and she's not using the power in the right way. So you need to keep that in mind. But it comes from a woman who didn't learn how to use her sexual energies right. So she probably had ratchet ass grandmothers, ratchet ass mothers and aunties. See what I'm saying? Or she probably had ratchet ass friends when she went outside. And then when she did go home, she looked at that wisdom from her grandparents or her mother as a form of rejection or a form as opposition. Or because spiritually, when you are a child, it's not that you're not listening to older people. Spiritually, your spirit tells you to oppose as a child, because in some way, shape, or form, elders is trying to block your experience and remind you. Experiences are your spiritual experiments. And if you lack experiences, your spirit always going to point you into a direction that your physical shapes and forms that your spirit is in is going to be attracted to. If you lack any of those experiences, you're going to hinder what you can manifest and what you can create, and you may be lost. So it's important for parents to understand that, right? Don't block your children's imagination or anything of that nature. Keep that in mind. It's ways to do things. So don't block an experience. Now, for the most part, when we get into a female, young woman, right? Or just getting into kids in general, when you're telling a kid, don't do this, don't do that, a kid's spirit is going to make them do it because they need that experience for them to have a level of wisdom for themselves. Otherwise, they're going to grow up sheltered and misled and misguided. Now, let's get back to the women, though, right? You may grow up in a family that's ratchet, so they utilize their sexual energy. Very chaotic. You see what I'm saying? So you need to understand that it might be certain things. And here's what I mean by that. And females, y'all understand this, but y'all don't know how to put it in words. So by me understanding the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional realm and me being Archangel Uriel, I'm going to kind of put it in words for y'all. Because, see, super logical and rational men will use this against you. And they will use this against you like this was the reason why you got raped. And I understand y'all a little bit. I can only say a little bit. I'm still a spirit in a male body down here, but I'm Archangel Uriel. So I can understand y'all frustration when y'all hear a dumbass male say that. And I'm going to put it in words why y'all get frustrated, and I'm going to put it in words for the males to help them understand why you can't use a woman dressing real sexual as an excuse of why she got raped, or why a woman acting promiscuous, or what's that word? Like those words that kind of, when women want to feel open. Women are naturally supposed to feel open. It's you fucked up men is the reason, and confused men is the reason why women start to feel more sheltered and hard and untransparent. Moons are supposed to be transparent. But let's get into this. Let me break it down for y'all so y'all can truly understand. As a woman, it's their birthright to utilize their shapes and forms. The roundness, the arch, the curve, its power in the jiggle. I know that sounds funny, but goddamn it, I'm a man, so I'm gonna go ahead and get nasty right now. If I get hard off of a female that got some jiggles. You know what I'm saying? It's power in the goddamn jiggle. I don't give a fuck how skinny you is. Your goddamn titties is flapping around in some way, shape, or form. So it's power in the goddamn jiggle. So anytime a woman is try to conclude herself too much to the point that she don't loosen up herself and wiggle around enough to the point that a male can see the jiggle in her, you're going to be unattractive. And then if you get too cold, you ain't got no jiggle, aka you're not transparent and loose with your vibrations. You let your vibration become too stale and cold. You become a woman that's seen as stuck up or cold or dry or negative. So females, to themselves, without nobody else, or just amongst them their friends or people they feel comfortable with, this is what they battle with, because they know that they are in the world that if they do too much of how they is, too many other motherfuckers is gonna get the wrong ideas about shit. Almost to the point that a goddamn bitch can't even like a homeboy's, can't even like a nigga's picture without her feeling like this motherfucker is getting ready to think that she like him and shit. And she could be just liking your shit just cause. This is what women do. She's open to have a person who's trying to put out energy feel like they got enough courage to continue doing that. Whether that's a male or female. Women have the energy to sit there and give that to you just by them being open to you. So if a woman is open to what you choosing to show, and you see that this woman is receiving it, that gives you courage to keep doing it. So women sometimes could just be liking your Instagram shit or your Facebook shit solely because of that. Then if you was to jump in their inbox and do all this kind of shit and don't get a response and start cussing them out, homeboy, you fucked up. You're being a dumb son. And I'm here as Archangel Uriel to tell you that. You see what I'm saying? You got to go a little deeper. These things is like you can't explain it with words. You just have to understand it. And if you haven't went through any level of experiences in your life, or you wasn't raised with no real woman, then you're not going to understand this shit as a young man. And then you're going to go as an old man thinking what being a man is some whole other shit. See what I'm saying? Now, it's a woman's right to be a little promiscuous, to show a little cleavage or whatever like that. Because this is how they manifest. The more a woman is open, the more she receives from the world. So that goes to mentally, emotionally, physically. When a woman is open mentally, that makes a man be like, God damn, I love her because I can just take her with me on everything, all explanations. When a woman is open emotionally, that make a man feel like, God damn, I don't have to be so closed up around her. I could cry around her. When a woman is open physically, aka she's showing a little cleavage or something like that, God damn it, you can't stop that woman. You won't be able to stop that goddamn woman. You will kill somebody over that goddamn woman. Whether you a male or you that woman's family member or relative, or you might be a dyke. If you're around a woman who's open mentally, open emotionally, and she know how to be open physically, God damn it, you in motherfucking trouble. But we don't got women today that got all three, based upon society and based upon dumbass men who's creating the society. That's another video, but let's dive into this. So, women have to utilize their openness because that's how they attract and manifest in this world. Now, when a woman grow up in a lot of ratchetness and say she didn't learn as a young girl to utilize her sexual energies, as she become a young lady, a female, then a woman, right? She may go to extremes with utilizing her feminine energy, her open energy, aka she might be too open mentally sometimes to the point that she get taken advantage of by a guy. She might be too open emotionally sometimes to the point that she end up going broke and giving everybody everything out of her purse for the sake of other people, and other people might just be using her. She might be too open physically to the point that she end up being in circumstances or situations where she let people take a little bit more than they need to. She let a motherfucker take a mile when he was only supposed to take an inch. And she didn't know how to come up with a certain concept or idea or certain body language or certain movements or certain words to say in order to not let that vibration go all the way to the extreme. Because there's a little playful energy also when we talk about the spirits that jump into female bodies down here. There's a little enticing there. You females know. But it's not supposed to fully develop in the third dimension. And that's what males supposed to know. See, a female, it's her right to psych you up as a male to make you think possibilities, imagination. Without the feminine energy in this world, how can anybody have an imagination? So spirits that's in women bodies, this shit goes so deep why man, this is deep why women is smarter than men, but just on a level of what y'all think is smart and logical is wrong. See what I'm saying? But that's another video. In the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, a woman subconsciously kind of know she set certain traps. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way the world works. That's created for the man to have an idea, aka create a chakra or a light form in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional realm, in order to know what to go into as a spirit to direct to go into your way. I'm just trying to find you, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing. That's as men in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. Boom, you give us that imagination, and we pick it up. We like, oh shit, we pick up my polycystis is tingling. Did I create that chakra as a light? Because it's all darkness up there. So you ain't gonna know where to go unless you create your own map or go get somebody else's map or go buy a warship from somebody else. But for the most part, boom, I create that, how that look. I create that potential or how it may look. Now remind you, how that appear to be may not be what it is at all. For an example, what women do in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, that don't mean she wants you to fuck because you picking up signals. You need to understand that. Now, but see, we all get tricked and lost down here because we get lost into our lower chakras and to our lower sexual energies. Which sex is nothing less but the joining of two energies to create another one. Now, once I jump into that light bulb, that fleshly fluid, that stream, that frequency stream, that vibration, I can move it as a vibration to experience that within it as a spirit. Once I travel your way, boom, I'm going to start seeing your space that you was in. Then the space that you are in is going to let me know if I can bring that energy down into the third dimension or not, aka go all the way with it. Is this something I could take my light into? Is that hole, that space, that dark area I could take my light into? Or is this female going to create shapes and forms of blockages, but she just wanted some form of attraction, paying attention, some attention? You know what I'm saying? And therefore, this is what the woman used to manifest what she needed in her life. What she just did in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension didn't have anything to do with you. Even if it play out in the third dimension as her just needing you for a ride home. Don't take that ride home as an extra go for, as into putting your hands in and trying to finger her when she don't want to be touched down there. See what I'm saying? Like it's fondled with. So as a man, I'm not telling you to be too restrictive and too concealed. I'm telling you to jump into your spiritual nature and your vibrations so you can know how to communicate on that level. Therefore, once the communication and the vibration of body language and the connection happen in that level, won't nothing have to be seen. Won't nothing has to be forced. It'll just be a joining. It'll be a connection. She'll be thinking in her head like, man, this is something about him. And you'll be thinking in your head like, damn, I think I got her. It won't be no situation where, I don't know, let me try this. And it won't be no situation in the female head like, oh, damn, I think I went too far. I didn't mean to give that many signals. See what I'm saying? And when a woman is thinking like that, she cannot verbally, rationally, logically explain that realm of reality. Nor do she even understand that's probably what's going on based upon her growing up in a ratchet area. So she probably don't even know that that's the kind of question she's asking herself. She's probably just thinking like, damn, why is this happening to me? Because she don't know how to utilize her sexual energy based upon how she was raised. But females who do know how to utilize their sexual energies a little bit, y'all know better. Y'all know that. Y'all know sometimes y'all do go a little too far. Y'all know sometimes that y'all pants do be a little too tight. Y'all know sometimes that y'all shirt do be a little bit too buttoned down. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, now, you know, so you got some females out there that go too far with it. But I'm trying to help all y'all understand, males and females, that you cannot use that as an excuse to rape a woman. But that is why I made a disclaimer at the beginning of the video also that it takes two. This is why I don't want anybody, this is a touchy topic. This is why I don't want anybody getting offended, because it still takes two at the end of it. You know what I'm saying? At the end root. But me breaking that all down, I don't feel spiritually like anybody gonna take offense. I feel like everybody who's spiritually inclined kind of understand what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? So it's a little bit of everybody's fault, but by default. And it is not for a man to become the over-aggressor. And it's not for the female to become the over-receiver. And a lot of times she may not know how much she's being open based upon how she grew up. If she grew around ratchetness and didn't go through a level of experiences herself to know how to get back into grips with herself and to know that the people she grew up around may have been wrong to a small degree. And then on the flip side, with the males, right? He might have been in a situation where he grew up being spoiled. So he never got exactly what he wanted. I mean, he always got what he wanted. So the moment he meet opposition, the moment he meet a female or even another person, place or thing that don't show as an example or a representation to what he used to what's familiar to him, then he may go through a level of extreme in order to manifest what he's familiar with. And him going through that level of extreme may play out into extreme natures. He may go overboard into his thoughts, feelings, and physically, to the point that he end up raping a female. Same way with the woman. When a woman is in her sexual, you're supposed to utilize her sexual energies, but say she didn't grow up and learn how to do this, and then she by being under ratchetness, and then she didn't go through a level of experiences herself to get into grips. Then here's where she may meet opposition, right? Because here's the thing. She's going to meet a situation where she was supposed to be more closed in. And then when that meets up with the guy that's going to meet her as being fully open, but creating that blockage because she don't know how to conceal a little bit. And then once that clash and meets with the guy who always got what he wanted, but he's meeting something that gave him a signal that he could get what he want, but then he can't go all the way with it. Both of these play out as clashes together. And then we end up having the receiver or the person who's being open as the victim, and we end up being the person, and we end up having the person as being the aggressor or the spoiled person as being the person who's committed the crime. Now remind you, either party is even really not even exclusive to male or females. But since the male have more strength physically than the female, and since when we talk about rape, since that's a physical crime, that's not brainwashing somebody to kill themselves. That's not that kind of crime. You don't even have to touch a person like that for that to be a crime, to psychologically make a person kill themselves or shit like that. This is a physical crime. When a person is telling you no, their mind is telling you no, but your goddamn body was telling you yeah. That's a physical crime. So when we talk about on physical terms, a male is more the aggressor and the female is more the receiver. So in the physical realm of reality, goddamn it, on all circumstances and situation, the male is wrong. The male should never participate in any type of rape. I don't give a fuck how ratchet the receiver person, the female, have grew up, and even if she was an alcoholic and she just opened her legs all to you, and she's the type of person who's this happened to all the time, she always get ran through and she don't never cry rape. That don't never mean that you supposed to take it. Motherfucker. Fight boss, bitch. And I love all y'all out there. And let's make sure not none of these cases happening again.